Awesome. So hope you understood the concepts on TAM, SAM, and SOM. Let me spend a little bit of time on defining some actionable strategies for startups, right? The first one is market research. A lot of us look down upon market research. Even when I was working, when I started working, I used to, really rely on my gut rather than actually researching on the market. And then, as you say, that your life makes you learn, I realized that probably market research is the most important tool and the most important friend that any professional can have who is working for a business or who is running his or her own business, right? So getting your market research right is absolutely critical. As much as primary research you can do, as much as you can speak to your potential customers or stakeholders real time, it really helps you decode the target market well. And of course, it needs to be triangulated well with any kind of market reports or government reports, government stats, etc., that are available for the specific market that you are targeting, right? In order to do that, I think specifically um, on secondary research, it is very, very important that you identify the right keywords. And in addition, when you're looking at the market, I always tell people that don't only look at it from a sizing perspective. When you're collecting insights, please also look at your potential competition, direct or indirect. It really helps you understand how competitors have been addressing the market until now. What are some of the best practices that you can imbibe in your business, or what are some of the learnings from their experience that you can leverage on, right? The second bit is strategic evaluation tools. So I always tell people that it's always good to use frameworks, to have a focus on unit economics. We spoke about a concept called CAC to LTV analysis, or a lot of people also look at it as CAC payback analysis, right? But it is very, very important that on a unit level, in order for you to sell one unit or earn $1, how much money you are spending. If you're spending more than what you are earning, then you continue to make losses. And is there a path for you to continue cutting down your losses? And until that time, what is the amount of money you actually need to fund your business, right? And once you do all of that, the best friend that you can find, another best friend that you can find is actually modeling it into a detailed financial model with detailed calculations on your revenues, on your costs, and calculating your burn rates. So, using certain strategic evaluation tools is critically important to ensure the success of your business. The third critical actionable strategy that I always tell most of the founders is that you always need to be on a continuous learning mode, right? I covered this concept when I spoke about ideation as well, where I said that ideation is not a one-time exercise, right? So you need to continue running experiments. You need to continue speaking to your customers. It's not that if you got your customer journey right the first time, it will continue to be right. Competition will come, it will disrupt the customer journeys in your market. And if you're not proactive in terms of how to continuously improvise your customer's journey, right? How to continuously engage your customers, how to continuously work on hooks for your customers, right? It will kind of not help you continue seeing the scalability of your business. So continuous learning is extremely critical. There are a number of ways in terms of how you can continuously learn. I personally really like to continue experimenting for my own business or for the businesses that I'm associated with, in terms of continuously working on what I can do better with my existing products, what new products I can potentially launch. And before I launch them, I try to do some sort of A/B testing, some sort of prototype testing, and so on and so forth. And when you're doing all of that, it is very, very important that you define your boundaries, right? We call them business guardrails. That what is a, say, for example, you want to reach to 100,000 customers, right, in a year. How much bare minimum money you need to sustain that kind of growth? Do you need to relook at your 100,000 number in the year one itself, right? So setting your guardrails is also very, very critical. So yes, continuous learning is absolutely critical. And last but not the least, expert collaboration. Or if you don't like the word expert, then continue to collaborate with your ecosystem. You should definitely continue to speak to people whom who you feel continue to add value to your knowledge, to your business, right? Engage domain experts. Try to speak to people in the industry who have done it in the past, who can bring in relevant insights to continue growing your business. One of the most important things and most important stakeholders that you need to engage with is your current customers and your potential customers. We can help you do that. We do it all the while, but for you yourself to do it is very, very critical. You might have seen Zomato's founder Dipinder, doing deliveries himself, right? Why does he do that? It is extremely critical to continue engaging with your customers, right? And the third bit is validation. And here we have written pilot validation, but it is extremely critical, and I'll be doing a dedicated session on customer validation itself. That before you do pilot validation, you should also do need validation, right? Before you even start conceptualizing your product, you should potentially speak to your target customers to understand whether they actually need your product or service. So validation is also extremely important. So, four critical strategies: market research, using strategic evaluation tools which are fit for your business, continuously learning, and expert collaboration. These are going to help you continue scaling your business faster and as per the defined milestones, which you have to communicate to all your stakeholders as well, right?